What's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about last night's Game 2 between the Celtics and Pacers. The Celtics take a 2-0 series lead over Indiana. We're going to talk all about that here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Join the membership if you want to learn more about the membership. There's a video on my channel explaining all of it. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that. Description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So last night we had Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics and Pacers. The Celtics coming off a big overtime win in Game 1. They survived and won Game 1 after the Indiana Pacers made some costly mistakes. And it's very interesting to see what Game 2 is going to be like. If Boston was going to look more locked in, how Indiana's confidence would be. And starting the game in the first quarter, it was a very even match first quarter. Like, you look at the first quarter, Indiana won the quarter 27-25. I look at it, both teams, the shooting was, well, Indiana shot 58% of the field, Boston shot 41%. Both teams were 3 for 9 from 3. Both teams were 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Indiana had 6 turnovers, Boston had 5 turnovers. It was very similar in both leagues. Tyrese Halliburton hit a step back 3, hit a couple shots. TJ Demhart hit a couple shots. TJ McConnell came out of the bench, provided a lot of energy, 7 points. He even hit a 3-pointer in the first quarter. Meanwhile, for Boston, Jaylen Brown had 7 points. Jahadi hit 5 points. And Payton Pritchard also came off the bench, provided some energy. He had 5 points in the first quarter, including hitting a big step back 3 near the end of the quarter. So it's a very similar first quarter for both sides, and it looked like it was going to be a really good game again. We go to the second quarter, and that's when Boston kind of sneaks away to start it. Indiana doesn't score for the first, I want to say, 5 minutes of the second quarter, and Boston takes advantage. They took about, I want to say, what was their biggest lead in that quarter? I want to check and make sure. They took a 14-point lead or 15-point lead at one point early in the second quarter before Aaron Nesmith hit 2 free throws to score the first points of the quarter for Indiana. Boston took advantage in that second quarter. The defensive intensity was there. They're getting a lot of turnovers. Indiana had 4 more turnovers in the second quarter. They're getting out in transition, easy looks. They're running with Indiana as well, something they did in Game 1 as well, where, especially in the first half, where they started to run with Indiana on makes and misses. They started to get back, get some easy buckets. They did that a lot in the second quarter in this game. And Jaylen Brown, 17 points in the second quarter, finished with 24 points in the first half. He shot 6 for 11 from the second quarter. In the first half alone, he had 24 points, 8 for 16 shooting, 6 for 8 from the free throw line is very important. As well, he took 8 of the 11 Boston free throws. Jahadi also had 10 points and 7 assists on perfect shooting in this quarter. And they just took advantage. For Indiana, the shots were falling. They were only 2 for 6 and 3 in the second quarter. Only took 2 free throws, while Boston took 9. Had 4 turnovers. Really, they're helped by Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam had 12 points and 6 for 7 shooting. The bench also did not score in the second quarter either. So, really, Pascal Siakam kept in this game. And one interesting thing I saw, or that I was thinking about, was like, dang, Indiana. So, if you're Indiana, you lose. You got 10 turnovers to their 7. You're losing the turnover battle. You're losing the assist battle 13-11. You only have 1 player scoring double figures. You only took 4 free throws to their 11 free throws. Jaylen Brown has 24 points. And you're getting dominated on the glass. All of that's happening. Yet you're only down 6 points. At the end of the second quarter, they went on a good run. Pascal Siakam again, helping them out, hitting some good shots. Andrew Nemhart and Aaron Nesmith providing energy. As well, near the end of the quarter, the defense started to look a little better. And Boston, it's really the Jaylen Brown show at the end of the second quarter. Jason Tatum only had 4 points in the first half on 2 for 8 shooting. A lot of settling. Derek White only had 1 shot. Al Horford started good, but didn't really end, doing much. So really, it was just Jaylen Brown versus Pascal Siakam at the end of the second quarter. And Indiana kind of found their way back in it. I was saying, all that being said, them losing the turnover battle, the rebounding battle, the assist battle, not shooting well from the field, taking 7 less free throws. Someone scored 24 points in the other team in the first half. You're only down 6, 57-51. So things should be looking good. And then we get to the third quarter, and that's when Boston kind of starts to take a little bit of a lead back. Derek White hits a couple big 3-pointers in the third quarter. The drive and kick game, I feel like, for Boston, the entirety of the game. The drive and kick game was amazing, especially for Derek White relocating, having some easy shots. Jaylen Brown had 9 more points. Jason Tatum started to get involved with 8 points. Payton Pritchard hit a 3-pointer off the bench in that quarter. They shot 4 for 9 from 3. So, and for Indiana, He only had 2 turnovers in this quarter and stuff. But, Pascal Siakam was amazing, especially I think he scored the first 10 points in the third quarter for them. He was great. Miles Turner started to get involved. But then no one else really besides them did much. Tyrese Halliburton only hit 1 shot in that quarter. Nembhard hit 1 shot. Neesmith didn't score. Shepard didn't score. Toppin had 4 points. He missed a couple free throws. McConnell had a point, or well, hit a shot, but they just didn't have the same offensive firepower that they usually had. They got dominate. They lost the assist battle 8-6. Boston had Tatum, Brown, and Derek White combined for 27 points, where in Indiana as a team scored 29 in the quarter. So that's a big thing. The driving kick game, again, I think for Boston was amazing. And they were just figuring out how to manipulate Indiana's defense. There's a lot of times, especially in the first half, also in the third quarter, where they used Halliburton's man as a screener. Sometimes it was Jason Tatum, sometimes it was Derek White, sometimes it was, some different players. Use him as a screener, use him in the pick and roll. Halliburton tried to show, and then they would just hold on to that. I think JJ Redick explained it too on the broadcast. That one extra dribble, and that forced Halliburton to kind of stay for a second, because if he doesn't stay, then Tatum or whoever just goes right by him. And that allowed Derek White or Jason Tatum or someone else to be wide open from three. And then Ben Shepard or someone else on the wing wouldn't be able to get over in time as well. And that would just lead to a wide open 3-pointer. So that happened. Boston kind of pulls away. And then the start of the fourth quarter, Boston again kind of just pulling away. Just Tatum 11 points in the fourth quarter. Steals it. Boston ends up winning 126-110. They take a 2-0 series. They win both games in Boston. Look at the Celtics. Jaylen Brown, 40 points, 14 for 27 shooting, 8 for 11 from the free throw line. Just amazing stuff from Jaylen Brown from the get-go. He had energy. He had intensity. He was, being aggressive. Because you get into the free throw line, get into the paint, and he was amazing. Following up game one where he had a good start and then kind of faded out until he hit that big shot to send the game to overtime. He came out this entire game on go mode. And that's big. Tatum as well. Tatum's only at 4 points in the first half. And then to be able to kind of find a groove in the second half to kind of help seal this game. 23, 6, and 5 on 9 for 20 shooting. Derek White, 23 points, 6 assists. He had 4 3-pointers. Jake Holiday, another great game. 15 points, 10 assists. Only missing 1 shot. Payne Pritchard had 12 points off the bench. He was amazing in this game. And yeah, Boston just doing their thing. Looking at the numbers, Boston outshot Indiana from the field, 53% to 52%. They also shot 40% from three, had 15 threes. They also took 4 more free throws and shot 85%, while Indiana only shot 68%. The glass was a big thing. The rebounding battle doesn't look as crazy because Indiana in the second half kind of cleaned up on it, but the offensive rebounding was huge. They also out-rebounded Indiana 10-3, I want to say, in the first half. They won the rebounding battle 40-37 overall in the game. Only had 1 more offensive rebound to end the game. But, it was better than that. And then they won the assist battle as well, 28-23. They forced 16 turnovers. So just an amazing all-around game from the Celtics. This was kind of a similar game. This is what I kind of expected in game one. I expected game one for Boston to come out, set the tone, have a double-digit win convincingly, and be like, all right, we're here. And then maybe game two could be the Indiana comeback. I didn't expect it to go the opposite way, but that's what happened. Boston came out, dominated me. For Indiana, Pascal Siakam was great in this game, 28, 5, and 2. Only missed 4 shots. He was 13 for 17. Nembhard hit a couple of shots. He had 16 points. But after that, Tyrese Halliburton, who left the game in the third quarter due to a leg injury, some sort of hamstring injury, which is what he missed a lot of time for, what he was dealing with for a lot of the season. So hopefully he'll be able to play the next couple games. He had 10 points, 8 assists. Miles Turner didn't really get involved to the third quarter. So that was a big thing. And one big thing Boston was doing was they put Jaylen Brown on Miles Turner, kind of put someone more athletic and physical so that Miles Turner wouldn't get, the easy looks that he was getting while Al Horford was guarding, while Al Horford doesn't have the same agility or something as Jaylen Brown. So that was a big switch by Indiana. And then the bench didn't provide as much. Obi Toppin had 11. McConnell had 9. In the first, he had 7 in the first quarter. After that, they just didn't really, McConnell wasn't really a factor in this game. And the bench just couldn't provide the same energy that they did last game. So that's a big loss for Indiana. But yeah, for the Pacers, I think they're going back home now, down 2-0. Game 3, of course, going to be a huge game. It's going to be a big difference between being down 3-0 and being down 2-1. I think game 3, if Tyrese Halliburton is playing, Tyrese needs to have another big game. When Tyrese has his big games, they don't lose. They need to involve Pascal Siakam a lot more early on. I feel like Pascal didn't really get it going until the second quarter. I think they need to establish Pascal early in this game. I think they need to clean up on the rebounding as well. The rebounding and the turnovers. The rebounding and turnovers are the two big, I think, keys as to why they're down 2-0. Especially this game, the rebounding was huge, especially in the first half. Boston got so many offensive rebound opportunities. Like, look at Al Horford had 4 offensive rebounds. Derek White had 2. Holiday had 2. Jalen Brown had 2. Just too many. Giving a team like the Celtics too many opportunities. That's what's going to lose you games. So cleaning up on the rebounding, the defensive rebounding, and then turnovers. Game one, again, they lost game one because they turned the ball over 2 times at the end of regulation. That gave Boston extra chances. In this game, they had a lot of turnovers early, 16 turnovers. Miles Turner had 4 turnovers. Why does Miles Turner have 4 turnovers? He shouldn't have the ball then. He had no assist and 4 turnovers. Why? You know, Tyrese didn't have a turn. Tyrese is the only one that played a lot of minutes besides Isaiah Jackson. The only one that played like actual minutes that didn't have a turnover. So just give the ball to Tyrese. Everyone else had a couple of turnovers, at least 1 turnover. So yeah, I think the turnovers and the rebounding has been the big reason as to why Indiana's down 2-0, because they've been shooting the ball well. They shot over 50% again. Pretty solid from 3. Got a lot more free throw attempts. Got to make them though. They missed 5 free throws, so they got to make their free throws. And their defense has been good enough to keep them in games, but I think it's really been the rebounding and the turnovers has been a huge reason as to why Indiana is down 2-0, and not a 1-1 series. So I think Indiana has to clean up the little things. They have to clean up doing the little things and making the right basketball. You have to clean some things up in terms of execution and in terms of doing the little things. And for Boston, just got to keep the same intensity. The intensity they had in like the early second quarter, where they made their run when Indiana was doing much. That's the intensity I want to see for the Celtics for a lot of the game. Like that's the intensity this Boston Celtics should be playing with. They were in the passing lanes, they were getting out in transition, they were running, they were doing all these other things. So I think it's time. Boston has to play with that intensity. We'll see what happened in Game 3. Indiana, I think that's a must-win for Indiana, obviously. We'll see what happens in Game 3. We'll see what happens with Tyrese Halliburton, what his injury status is. I assume he's probably going to play Game 3, but you never know. And if he doesn't play Game 3, then you should most likely just call it over at that point, because that would be tough. But we'll see what happens next game. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.